hello, hello. This is Janelle Montgomery. I am here to answer any questions you have on finances. And so, I know it's pretty late, but I did put myself out there and said, hey, listen, Facebook world, I am going to answer any questions that you have on finances or anything around that nature. So if you do, go ahead and drop them below. And for right now, what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and answer some questions that people inbox me about. And the first one was really, really funny, right? So the first one that I got in the comments was, hey, does anybody know, like, someone has my $1,000,000, right? So what do I do to get $1,000,000, or someone has it? So it's so funny because one of my mentors, Myron Golden, always says that any money that you desire is in someone else's pocket. And I just was sitting there thinking about that, yeah, that's true. And he says, of course, you could, try to beat them over the head and try to take it from them, or you can give them so much value that they're willing to give up the money in their pocket for that value. So one of the things that I also learned from him in giving value is that in order for you to become a millionaire, you have to solve $1,000,000 problem. And so that's one thing that I thought about, like, wow, okay, sounds simple, right? But that is the answer to your question. I told you I would answer it. And so I'm on my way to solving $1,000,000 problem. And so just hello, hey, Jaquetta, hey, everyone who's hopped on. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. I will be able to answer them the best I can. Again, let me go ahead and put this disclaimer out. Yes, I am a CPA, but none of you are my clients yet. And so none of you are my clients yet, so I do want to know that any advice, anything that I do say, it's, don't hold me responsible, right? So if you go and, hopefully you don't rob someone or anything like that. I didn't tell you to do it. So, all right, we got some highs. We got to become a millionaire, solve $1,000,000 problem. Yes. And one of the things that I also learned was the fact that a lot of people have the process of becoming a millionaire backwards. And so trust me, I'm here too. I'm transforming my mindset. And so one of the things, Derek, that is so funny. Tori, give me my money that's in your pocket. Yes, you can definitely ask for that. I'm sure there's some kind of value. Hey, what's up, Rudy? So one of the things that I think what most people think is that, especially what I see on Facebook, is that they'll say, hey, listen, if I had $1,000,000, then I would start doing this. Or if I had $1,000,000, then I would do what I need to do what millionaires do, and then I would become a millionaire. But the reverse order, if you reverse that order and say, hey, listen, I need to become who I need to become. So every morning I say an affirmation that says, hey, listen, I am a millionaire, right? So I'm going to do what millionaires do so I can have what millionaires have. And a lot of the time, I remember me and my husband, we used to sit there and say, oh my gosh, Tori and me, we used to be like, man, if we only had $1,000,000, right? And then we would start doing what millionaires do. But we have to become a millionaire so that the millions can be attracted to us. And I like that. Someone says it starts with $100. Yes. It is all about money management. That is one of my favorite topics. One of the things that I always do say is that that you have to give every dollar an assignment. That is one of my, it's a quote that I found from someone else, and that I've always taken it with me, that you have to give every dollar an assignment. And so there's a question on here that says, do you know anything about investing? Yes. One of the most important things in regards to investing, I know a lot of people, when they think of investing, they think about stocks, they think about bonds, they think about the stock market, right? But I know there's one thing that I know that Warren Buffett said, and I've heard from other financial gurus, is the fact that in the number one place where you can invest is in yourself. Because you can invest into the stock market, and there's plenty of people who do, right? You hear about people selling stock market packages and everything like that. But in order for you to really reap that investment is for you to invest in yourself, because no one can take that away from you. Yes, you can invest into different markets, you can invest into Forex, you can invest into different things, but that can be gone in one instant. And I guarantee you that the people who have made millions have invested within themselves. And so the thing that I know about investing is that I'm investing in myself, in my knowledge, in whom I'm becoming, so that when money is attracted to me, it can stick to me, right? Because I can sit there and win $1 million in a lottery or in the stock market or just be lucky. But if I don't have that mindset to keep that $1 million on me, then it is going to be hard for me to stay a millionaire, honestly. And so, great question. Calvin Sykes says, what are some of the most important elements in securing a financial future? Wow. I love that you asked that question, in securing a financial future. One of the things that I have found in securing your financial future is basically making a decision. It all starts with a decision. Because the thing is I just heard Les Brown say this yesterday. He was talking about, hey, he was scared to leave his job, and basically his excuse was, hey, the company's taking good care of me. And he was saying, I don't want to hear somebody say, hey, somebody else is taking care of you. It really lies within you on making sure that you want to be financially secure. So you can't look on outside of yourself to say, hey, listen, I want to secure a financial future. It all starts within you. I'm not saying that you don't look outside, but it all starts within you. So you want to make sure that within yourself, you're saying, hey, listen, I want to make a decision right now to secure a financial future. What's going to happen is when you do that, then it's going to open you up to finding answers on how to be financially secure. And so the most important element in that in that whole deal is about making a decision. So thanks for asking that. Someone says, yes, proud of you, Janelle Montgomery. Yes, Marquita, you're next. We're next. We're going on live. Shifting your mindset, awesome. Tori Montgomery, I heard a millionaire say today that he invests $100,000 a year in personal development. That is so very true. And here's the thing. I read these reviews. Like, I go to different events that revolve around personal development. And one of the things that I hear them say is, oh my gosh, they always try to sell you on something. They're selling me on something. I don't like going there because they're going to ask for my money. And here's the thing. Here's one thing that I heard a lot of the successful coaches say is that they're saying, hey, listen, the money's not really about me. It's about investing in yourself. And so I can sit here and say, oh yes, hey, this is all about me, invest in my coaching so you can make me rich. No, this is about you so that you can grow. And so investing is about growing. And I love what Rudy said. Rudy said self-investment always yields the highest ROI. That means return on investment. Return on investment. So that is great. Rudy says, what's the biggest misconception you have found in the way people deal with money? Oh, wow. You hit me with one of those big questions. Oh, let me go ahead and repeat that again. He said, what's the biggest misconception you have found in the way people deal with money? Here's one of the biggest misconceptions is the fact that people think Now, I know I'm probably going to step on some toes. People think that more money will solve their issues, will solve all their issues, just more money. I've heard there's plenty of businesses. I've heard people say, hey, listen, I made over $1 million and I have no idea where it went. I mean, and what's crazy is that they didn't spend it on anything like extravagant. They just said, I hate to tell you this, but I have no idea where it went. So the biggest misconception that I found the way people deal with money is the fact that if they had more, then they would keep more. And the thing is just because you make more money, just because you have an increase in your money, does not mean that you keep it. See, the key is to financial security, in addition to making a decision within yourself, is the fact of you needing to pay yourself. That's another misconception. That's something else too, is the fact that we pay everyone else except for ourselves. In The Richest Man of Babylon, one of the key concepts, we read it, right? We probably read that book over and over again, but one of the key concepts that is key to your financial wealth is the fact that you are paying yourself, basically. Robert Kiyosaki says this. Of course, The Richest Man in Babylon. A lot of people say this, that you need to pay yourself first, because how are you going to accumulate wealth if there's nothing to accumulate? Just think about it. I was just talking with one of my mentors, because I'm looking in tax planning, and if you read the statistics, a lot of people are overpaying in taxes. They're paying more than $2,000 per 88% of Americans are paying are overpaying more than $2,000 in taxes. And so when I thought about that, I was thinking, wow, that is a lot of money. But you think about it, you give the government, through your withholdings, through overpaying in taxes, you give them an interest-free loan. And so for over a year, right? So you're paying them, they're taking money out your check. And then next thing you know, when you get a refund, you're jumping up and down like the government did something for you. But the fact is they're giving you money back that really belonged to you. And so back to circle around what I was talking about paying yourself, whenever money is taken out your check, it's gone, right? Like you don't even think about it, because you have a gross amount that you get paid. Just say if your salary is $3,000 a month and the government takes, almost 20%, you don't even think about that money, because guess what? You can't get that money back. But when it comes to paying ourselves, that's probably one of the hardest things to do, because we've been taught to look at debt. We've been taught to look at other things and to take care of other things, because the thing is those things will always be there. Those debt collectors, those companies that always want your money are always going to be there, but you have to think about yourself. And that's one of the key concepts in your financial security. So that's one of the things. Another question. Thanks, Rudy. Appreciate your questions. How has your views of money changed when you understood the spiritual principles of it? Wow, what a great question. Man, I've read the Bible, back and forth ever since I was little. And sometimes you can read something through a different perception. I've read something through basically through like a religious perception, So whenever I used to read, hey, you can't have two masters. You can't serve God and you can't serve mammon. Wow. But then when you hear people, yeah, you can't serve God and you can't serve money. Well, here's something that I thought about, right? So when I think about serving money or serving money, I think about the concepts of there are people who are working hard for money and that are basically serving money, basically. But here's one thing that I heard from one of my mentors that said that, sorry, I got kids in here. Here's one of the concepts that I found was that Money makes money makes a great servant, but a bad master. So the thing is that you can't let money become your master. You can't let money have control over you. You have to have control over the money. And so that's one of the things that I learned, like, wow, like the people who have the most money learned how to manage it. The people whose management skills aren't up there still have an issue with making money their servant. So you have to make money your servant. So that's one of the things that I found with spiritual concepts as far as money. So those are some great questions. Any other questions? I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me scroll back through here. I know I probably missed some. Oh, what should a person look for when hiring a CPA? Wow, that is a great question as well too. Is yes, let money work for you. Money has to be the servant. You don't have to work. If you're working harder than your money, then that is definitely an issue. So yeah, that is definitely an issue, because I know people who got it reversed. They're serving money and they're not allowing the money to serve them. So here's another question. Thanks, Derek, for this question. It says, what should a person look for when hiring a CPA? Here are some of the things. CPAs, first of all, are so global. They serve in many different capacities. I worked in corporate and I also worked in public. And so if you're looking for a CPA to do your taxes, one of the things that I specialize in is I work on a more proactive side of your money in your business. So I know for the most part that whenever you take your taxes or your information or your business information, financial information to CPAs for them to prepare your taxes, they're working on your taxes based on past information or last year's information. So for now, what I help do is, right now we have 6 months left until December. I help you come up with strategies to save money on your taxes, so that when December comes around and you're closing your books, or you're ready to give your pay stubs and all your information to the tax preparer, that they just prepare your taxes and they just look in hindsight. Me, I like to be more proactive. So if you are looking for a CPA, yes, you do want someone who you connect with. I mean, really, there has to be a genuine connection. Of course, there has to be integrity. But you have to look at if the CPA is bringing value. So that's one of the things there as well too. So, hello, hey Amy, just here to answer any questions that you have. Rudy says, money makes a great servant, but a bad master. Yes, let money work for you. I love it. I love it. I love it. I can talk on a topic of money management for a long time. But here's one of the things though. I am looking into, and this is mainly for entrepreneurs, I am getting into tax planning. So tax preparation, I've done it for a little bit. I tried my hand in it a little bit. I work for public and dealing with taxes, and now I like to be proactive, and I like to help companies. I like to help people save money. So I am in tax planning. I also do consulting. So I do consulting in personal finances, in accounting. And so I like to help people reach clarity in their books and helping them achieve a bigger bottom line. Hello, Trenton. So that's one of the things that I'm doing. And I was just going to say, I'm here to answer any questions. And let me know if this helps. Hey, listen, if you have any other questions that you have later on, go ahead and drop them in the comments. I would love to get back on live and answer them. And so I just appreciate all of you. And just let me know any questions. Hey, I'm here for you. Anything revolving around personal finance. But hey, listen, whatever your goals are, you can inbox me, let me know, and we can definitely see what we can do to achieve them. So yes. So interesting. Yes, sir. So awesome. Oh, here we go. What is the best way to eliminate debt? Ooh, Oh, wow. You're just going to drop that question at the end. Okay. Okay. My beautiful sister-in-law, Jaquetta Brooks Brown. So, what's the best way to eliminate debt? I need to make a worksheet for you all because that is something that I know that has been brought up a lot of times. What I would do right now is I would create a list of all the debts that you do have, and there's two ways you can do it. You can list them out, and then go ahead and put them in, hey, what's going on, Bonita? So one of the things that you can do is list them in from the smallest amount to the biggest amount. But the main thing is that you want to pay the minimum payments as much as you can. And this can really go deep. And I hate it because my mind can get so analytical and I can think of all the intricacies of paying off the debt. But you want to start off with the smallest amount first, and then you want to tackle it so it can have a big snowball effect. And so the thing is that the financial situation that you're in currently, you didn't get there overnight. It really took some accumulated actions that you took daily for you to get to the place of where you got to, basically. And so in order to change that, you need to also reverse it or look at the small changes that you can do, the small actions that you can do to change your financial position. So, but I will have a worksheet or something so that we can attack debt. So I believe in debt domination. I definitely do. So what are some of the ways that you would get about building good credit? Oh, I have a lot. Wow, that is great. So building great credit. I know several on Facebook, several people that are in credit repair. But one of the things on the FICO score is, first of all, let me just say this. If someone's in a place to where they're not in the best place with their credit, there's no way to go but up. So if you feel like, hey, listen, my credit's horrible, one of the places where you can turn, and of course there's a lot of other resources. You can go to creditkarma.com just as a good starting point. They don't require your credit card information, and you can basically see where you are as far as credit-wise to see if there's something that's there. No, you're fine. I know, right? I feel like I couldn't really read. But what I would do is start there, and if you need to, I would really reach out to a credit repair company. But the main things that they look at are your payments, if you missed any payments, of course, any negative judgments. And here's one thing I'll say about that. If you have any judgments or if you have any liens, that it's going to be hard for you to obtain credit elsewhere. So if you had any of that, those are probably going to be one of the first places where you need to attack your debt, is if there are any judgments or any liens or any court-ordered things against your credit, because that's where it can become an issue if you're trying to buy a house, if you're trying to get credit sometimes, if you're trying to buy a car. That's one of the first places where I would start. And then once those are taken care of, then I would look at the current the current liens that you have or loans that you have and start paying on them. And then you can work on debt collection. That's sort of a touchy subject, so I won't delve in too much with that. But if you have any questions, you can definitely message me. Yes, you're welcome. You're definitely welcome. Rudy asks, what's your best advice for creating a savings plan that works for your household? Wow. My best advice is, it may be hard, but a savings plan, it depends on what you're saving towards, because if you don't have something that's worthwhile for you to save, then you're really not going to have any motivation to save. I mean, just to be honest with you, because I definitely have been there where, hey, listen, we're going to save. This is the right thing to do, right, is to save. But without a why behind it or without something that's worthwhile, then you definitely got to have something that's worthwhile. You got to have a why. You got to have a reason. Once you have that, then the spending plan is going to come into place. A lot of the times, I know for me and my husband, we spend money. Basically, anyone on this live, you spend money on whatever you want to spend money on. It does not matter. Listen, you can be in debt. You can have mountains of debt, bad credit, and you see something that you want. You see a purse, you see clothing item or something that you want, you're going to get it. If there's a trip you want to go on, you'll probably go on it. So make sure that if you save, that you save something that's worthwhile. Love it, love it, love it. So it says, what courses do you recommend people can take to become fiscally responsible? We took a financial piece, and it was one of the best classes. Yes. I love it. So financial peace is really, really great because you do have financial peace in attacking your debt. You also want to have a plan to make sure that you are saving, like I was mentioning earlier, that you have something worthwhile to save towards. And so Financial Peace University is great. There are a lot of courses out there. I also have a mini financial boot camp that I hosted for 3 weeks. That's really awesome as well too. Gonna put myself out there. And so I know someone who actually took that mini boot camp, and they were able to wipe away a lot of the debt. Like they were like very close to debt free whenever I talked to them a couple months later. So it definitely can work. Some people just need the push, and some people just need to have just those goals in front of them so that they can achieve them. So all right, Bonita, thanks a lot. Yes, I am out here. So any other questions? I love this. Any credit, debt domination, money management, knowing the purpose of money, to make money, keep money, and multiply money, right? It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you're able to keep for yourself. A lot of people don't think about themselves. They're thinking about, of course, the creditors, they're the people who they owe and all of them, but they don't think about themselves. And so I think that's great. If you want money to work for you, then definitely pay yourself. Debt domination. Yes, ma'am. Wow. Any other questions? This has been really great.
I don't know.
My husband came in here and said something, so awesome. Okay, well, I am going to end this. I hope you all have a great night. Again, I appreciate all of you, and good night, world. I'm going to I know the kids should be asleep. Oh, all right, Rudy, you always coming up with some questions. Okay. What are some of the rules to creating wealth? Hey, here's what I'll do. Hey, listen, that is a great topic about creating wealth. Oh, wow. Is there a set amount you can give to a ministry? Hey, now that's what I'm talking about. Yes. Oh, I have so many testimonies to that. Hey, listen, Rudy, I'm going to address the rules to creating wealth, because it is, oh man, it is so much to that. Oh yeah, love that. Okay, so is there a set amount you can give to a ministry? Hey, I am all about giving. Listen, so it was so crazy because I believe in giving. I believe in giving into a ground that is fertile, that is doing great things. Of course, if y'all don't know, yes, I am a pastor's wife, and so I know what it is to sacrificially give. And I will say that whenever my husband, sometimes he goes up, he's Pastor Tori, so he'll be up there, and I'll be like, I haven't wrote out the amount that I'm gonna give, but every time he does, I'm like, okay, well, let me put more of an amount on there. But there was one time where I gave, and it was it hurt to give. Afterwards, you know how sometimes when you give and you're like, yeah, I feel great, but no, I was still feeling like, man, I still gave. Was that worth it to give? But I will say that I received a phone call the next morning, and it wasn't monetarily. Listen, it was favor. It was really favor, because I was trying to reach this person, and that person called me and say, hey, listen, I want to help you the best way I can and know how. So I said, okay, that is great. Listen, that is what I needed. And so sometimes it's not the fact that you need money. Sometimes you need favor, and sometimes you need just a door open. Sometimes it's just God will just sometimes tug on your heart. But I just know that a set amount, I do give at least 10%, and so that is something that I do give. But of course, with offerings, I do give more to that, because I do know that to further the kingdom, that it does take all of us. And I do know that with that money, we want money to circulate. We want money to just continue. So I love this, because I saw a pastor do this. He said, do like this. He says, when you put out money, it's going to come back in. It's going to come back in. And like I said, even though I didn't receive a return monetarily, it was the return that I needed for my life, for our family's life. So yes, favor. And Tori Montgomery, thank you so much for dropping that link for Virtual Millionaire Club. I am an affiliate of Virtual Millionaire Club, where it's basically $27.99 a month, and you get a lot of, like, if you thought I dropped nuggets, the little nuggets that I drop, if you thought I dropped those nuggets, listen, if you click on the link and become a Virtual Million Club, like, affiliate, listen, like, dude, there is so much value that you can get. And I know people who've made a big return. Like I said, that the most important investment that you can make is within yourself. And so if you click on a link where Tori Montgomery is Virtual Millionaire Club, it is legit. All the things that you need to do to change your mindset to become a millionaire is right there. And guess what? It's not only from hard work. When I listen to one of my mentors, Myron Golden, say, hey, listen, it's not necessarily through hard work. People think that the harder you work, the more money you make. And that is not the case. That is not the case. So let me go ahead and chomp down that tree, right? The harder you work does not necessarily equal that there's more money that you're making. So yes. All right. I see another question. It says, how do you measure your finances in regards to what money comes in and out? How much? It won't let me see. It won't let me see the rest of it. Oh, no. Okay, let me like it. Maybe it'll... Okay. Well, how do you measure your finances in regards to what money comes in and out your household? I think one of the most important things is that if you are measuring your finances in regards to money coming in and out, that first of all, you need to have something to measure against. So one of the things that I tell my clients is that you have to have goals to measure against. Because if I'm sitting here and I'm saying, okay, money's coming in, money's coming out, but if I'm not measuring it or putting them against any financial goals that I have, then it's just basically it's not gonna have a purpose. And so how much would you set aside for a rainy day fund? Oh, I've heard so much about this. I've heard people say, hey, listen, I don't plan on having a rainy day, so let me not have one. But yes, I would say at least have a amount set. I don't really like to say how much. I do know there's experts out there. I know Dave Ramsey, he'll say, hey, save $1,000 for emergency. But I would say set an amount and just say, hey, listen, this can really happen. So this is the amount that I want to set aside. Okay, is there an amount that the government says you can give in a ministry? Oh, yeah. That is definitely one of the... Is there an amount that the government says you can give in a ministry? I do know this, and I have to check because I know the new rules, but I know it was like a 50% cap limit or something like that, but I can address that later. I've been in this vein, but yes, you definitely give. And if you do give and it's over the amount that you can give, then say for instance, if I gave $100,000 and it was a lot, I can carry over the amount that I'm allowed and then carry over the rest of it to the future years. So yes, there are some advantages. Yes, it's actually the harder you work, the less money you make. Oh man, oh my goodness, I can definitely touch on that. The more money, the harder you work, the less money you make. And this is from Myron Golden, but I can talk about the 6 levels of value. But let me ask him. I'll ask him if I can share that. Matter of fact, I'm going to tack that on with how to build wealth. What are some things to build wealth, and what are the 6 levels of value that you can provide in the marketplace? I'm going to go over that, and that is a phenomenal teaching. So definitely, I don't want you to miss that. So I will go over that. Thanks a lot for providing what I'm going to provide on my next live. So if there is nothing else, if you do have any other questions, I will address them on my next live. So thank you all. You all have a good night, and just any questions, business, personal, just inbox me or message me. So thanks a lot. Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.